Okay, so today we will be talking about smart objects. We will be talking about how to use it and why is smart objects so important within Photoshop. So to start off, we have two layers. We have one called layer 0 and one called layer 0 copy. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to rename one of them to smart object. Okay, so now that we renamed the layer into a smart object, let's actually change this layer to a smart object. So what you would do is you would right click the layer. Once you right click the layer, you should have the option to convert into a smart object. And the way that you could tell that it's actually converted is by the little white tab that shows up on the thumbnail of the layer that you use. So now that we got that, let's make adjustments. The first thing that we'll do is we'll use the move tool to show the difference between the two. So just remember, once you find the move tool, in order to resize and to rotate the picture that you want to actually use, you got to click show transform controls as well. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on the original layer that has been modified. So now that I got that done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what happens when you would make adjustments, whether scale or rotations, to an image that hasn't been converted into a smart object. So once you scale it down, just remember you can click the checkpoint on the top of the page or you can hit enter. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize it back to its original size. And if you see, as I'm adjusting the image back to its original size, the quality of the photo has diminished. And I'm going to hit enter again. And if you see, the quality has diminished, it's blurry, the colors aren't as vivid. This is strictly because we're using the original image, and since it's not a smart object, none of the pixels within this photo is retained. So now that we got the original copy and you see the actual quality of the image, next we're going to do the exact same thing to a smart object. Okay, so we'll do the exact same thing. We'll use the move tools and we'll make sure you remember to click on the show transform controls tab. And once you click that, we're going to do the same thing to the smart object photo. We'll resize it, but this time let's resize it smaller than we did with the original image. Let's resize it so small that you can hardly even see the object. The point here is to show you the effects of a smart object. And again, I'm going to click enter. And I'm going to resize it back to its original size. And as you see, the quality of the photo is still the same. All of the pixels within this photo has been retained. The coloring and everything else in this photo has as well, whether you resize or rotate. Okay, so another thing about smart objects is the fact that you could edit photos in a different screen, make as many adjustments you want, and it will actually apply to the original smart object that you use in this layer. So in order to do that, that icon in the thumbnail that I was talking about earlier, you'll double click that and it will take you to a new tab. Now let's say if I don't want to scale, let's use another adjustment this time. Let's say brightness and contrast to bring a more natural feel to this object or to this photo. What I'll do is I'll drop the brightness a little lower. And let's say if I, with the contrast, I drop that and bring that to the left a little bit to give it an earthy feel. Once again, I'll hit enter, and then I'll just close out this box. Everything within this photo has been adjusted. So let's say now we wanted to make another adjustment into the smart layer. Another thing that we'll do is, let's say we want to add hue saturation. So we'll go right back down to the no fill menu, and then we'll hit hue saturation. And let's say that we wanted to add a little bit more color to this image. Okay, we create a little bit more color. You see more green in the trees and the blue ocean. Let's brighten it up just a little bit, because we wanted to have an earthy feel, but let's say we wanted it to be a little brighter strictly because, it is on vacation. So once I got that, and we look at this new tab that we're using, it groups up all of the adjustments that has been made on this smart object. It's all grouped together. So what we'll do is we'll save the project, and then we'll exit out of this tab. And as you see, all the adjustments that you made in the other tab, with the extra layers of the adjustments that you use, is actually all implemented in the original smart layer that we were working on before. Today we went over smart objects. We went over how to make a layer into a smart object, the importance of smart objects, and its effects, and how you can utilize it within Photoshop for your own efficiency and convenience. As a bonus, we also went over scaling and size, and brightness and contrast within Photoshop. And just remember, when using Photoshop, make sure that you have fun with it, but also understand the importance of some of the tools such as smart objects to make your experience a whole lot better. Thank you.